Hello, my loves, and welcome back to another reading. I'm feeling torn between what to start with here. Okay, we're going to start with a Samhain deck. In keeping with the season. Okay, what is it that we need to know right now? Spirit, ancestors, deities, land spirits, our own spirit. What is it that we need to know right now? Ritual 33. Can you feel them? Wild creatures linked by the very blood you will spill into your craft. A ritual of dedication to self and those whose gazes hold fire, but whose whispers carry you softly through the unknown. Again, picking up on firekeeper, deities, spirits, not in any sort of destructive way. Fire can be very restorative, burning, doing controlled burns of the land is very important in making sure that that very same land in the dry months of summer does not become the kindling to a unstoppable wildfire, right? Wild creatures linked by the very blood you will spill into your craft. Also, the fact that we are all connected, all humans are connected. All humans are connected with all of the animals on this earth. We are all connected with the earth herself. We are made from this earth. We are made from the material, the very lifeblood of this earth. The water that's in the oceans flows through our veins. And in that same way, we are connected also to those who are not here physically with us, right? We are still connected to our ancestors. We are connected to the gods of our ancestors, the gods of the lands of which we came from, right? Where our lifeblood flows still, right? Another one of these? No. But funnily enough, when I asked if we wanted another one of these, I opened up on elders again, so very appropriate considering our message from Monday and talking about ancestry, and we're talking about ancestry here. Okay. All right. So this is the other deck that I was... Ooh. Well, hello. Being called to. It's a Citadel deck, and just give me a moment. I'm gonna go pick that up. Okay, we're back. We've got all the cards. Too big of a pile fell out, so I wasn't pulled to take any of the cards. Okay, so connection here, and connection to firekeeper deities, firekeeper spirits. Also, a ritual of dedication to self and those whose gazes hold fire but whose whispers carry you softly through the unknown. I'm somebody who is a polytheist, very animist. Everything has spirit. Spirit doesn't end when we pass on. And there is the energy here of, yes, that flame keeper deity, but also very much rekindling, rekindling the ritual, the connecting with the deities. If you are somebody, and I think you just might be, if you are somebody who has connected with deities or spirits before and has worked with them in whatever capacity, whatever kind of relationship, I feel very much, I said in the reading on Monday that I feel the gods miss the relationships that they have with us, that they have had with us. And while things have steadily been growing, since, I don't think it has ever quite gone away completely, but things have been really growing, and there's a lot of witchcraft and deity work things out there calling people in. But I'm very much getting the sense here of really, really sitting down and connecting. And I know that is hard in a time where there's TikTok witches, where there is information coming at you so fast. And, obviously social media is meant to sort of keep you there so that you're always distracted, so that even when you're not on social media, it is hard to focus. But doing a ritual takes focus. It takes time. It is a time outside of time. And you need the focus, the meditation skills, the ability to quiet your mind so that you can connect with your deities, your ancestors, your spirits, whoever it is that you need to be working with right now, who is calling to you. Because there are people who are calling to you in spirit. And I have a very big feeling that you know who they are. Remember the way that dancing around bonfires when you're a child feels. When, if you're old enough to not have had cell phones when you were a kid, or you had parents who were, a little more strict about things and said, okay, we're enjoying this thing right now and get rid of your phone because we're just going to do it. Remember the energy of that. The shepherd. Celebration and family. Yes. There's this undeniable fact. It's simply fact. We are connected with everything around us and with spirit around us, right? It doesn't mean that all of the things around us are safe. It's not like I'm going to be going out into the woods and eating random mushrooms, okay? But there is connection here. There are ways for you to be able to connect deeply and be in joy, be in that dancing around the fire, but with, not only your physical family and loved ones here, but with spirit. Whoop. Oh man, we really want to be on the floor tonight. The vengeance, overcoming slights, and a choice. And immediately I see both of these hands, reflected in these cards here. I got this card a while ago and immediately was the thought of allowing the things that have happened to us, and it's not to deny that there are awful things that happen in the world. There are awful things that happen to you and me and everybody around us. But to allow ourselves to be completely consumed and wrapped up in the desire to make someone pay, to I mean, it's vengeance, obviously. My words aren't coming tonight. The message is hard to come out. But it's seeking the vengeance. It is being blinded. It is being stuck in this dark place where there is nothing else to see, no other joy to be had and felt and enjoyed with others, when we allow the awful things in the world to completely consume us, right? This anchor here, is tied to this red thread, which if we allow this seeking of vengeance to completely overtake us, will pull us down and we will not be able to get free. We will drown before we get free. I'm going to just pull another card here just to sort of clarify or show us the path. I think part of the path is obviously the celebration, family, the connections that we have, the rituals that we have with spirit, the enchanter, deception and trickery. Interesting. The vengeance is the deception. It makes you feel like it is going to be worth it. That sort of darkening the entirety of the light that is you for the sole focus of getting vengeance is going to sort of allow you to feel whole again. But the trickery of it is that it actually it's like a black ink blot that just completely spreads out and consumes the entirety of you. And it is very hard to come out of this when we ignore the connection and the joy that is to be found in spirit in this 3D world, right? Okay. Which deck shall we go with? All right, we're going for the crow. Lots of black and white imagery today. But again, perfect for this month. I'm just going to say, just right off the bat, with just these 4 cards, there is the warning here. The guidance to let you know that there are 2 ways that we can handle what is happening in the world, how we make the world better, even if it's just within our own communities, our own small, families and friends. With what is happening in the world, if we go down the path of vengeance and trickery, we won't be able to enjoy what comes for us when we rebuild, when we put all of our hands together to build up something better, right? A blooming, blossoming, abundant ecosystem that, yes, is fed by some of that darkness that is now past, because we will get past this, right? But we can't let the vengeance be the sole driver forward. The driver forward, I mean, there certainly should be retribution for things, no doubt. But the big drive forward is to be here into rebuilding something so amazing that none of us or our ancestors could have imagined before, until we came here and we endured what we endured, but we saw the light in order to build. We saw the light of ancestors previously. Fueling, providing light for us to know what it is that we need to do going forward. All right. How do we keep ourselves from falling into the despair and, oh, hello, the Hanged Man, perfect. The despair and sort of blindfold of vengeance. Hanged Man, which is interesting because The hanged man is usually hanging there with their eyes closed, right? But this isn't being ignorant of the world, being ignorant of the way that I myself, as the hanged man, affect the world. This is going inward and seeing all of the connections, seeing all of the light that is within me, that has flowed through me and my ancestors and the land that I live on, the joy that flows through relationship with everything, everyone. Definitely getting a message of meditation and grounding, even though this is the hanged man, right? It's so funny because, he is the hanged man. He is suspended in air. He's getting a different perspective. But in that, he's becoming so much more grounded within himself, within his higher knowing, his higher self, his spirit's knowing. There, don't refuse to make the decisions that you need to make. It is, I know, I know. There's a lot going on right now. There are so many things that we have become so very aware of, and it is exhausting. And sometimes it feels like the best thing is to just put on the blindfold and not have to look around and not have to see any of the effects that we could have, and simply not do anything that has effect. But that's the trickery of blindfolding ourselves and not making decisions, is that by not making decisions, you are making decisions. You are robbing the world of your light, right? You are robbing the world of the knowledge that you have gained, the way that you are in the world that brings light and joy and strengthens the bonds that we have to each other, right? There's alchemy here. There's the reminder to remember that the greatest thing of all is love. And not only romantic love, that's something that is so sort of hammered into us, especially, here in North America, that's the only way that you can show affection for somebody is if you are romantically in love with them. And that is simply not true. There's love in community, there's love in family, there's love in friendships. And each one of those is so important to the diverse biome that we're trying to create, this diverse new world that we're trying to create. When we understand that love is the thread that ties us all, not vengeance, not seeking things that are going to evaporate into wisps of smoke, we understand that the thing that we need to strive for the most is love. That's it, simply put. Community, in whatever way that you can have it. We can all, I know that the Seven of Wands means something else generally, but I really like to just kind of pick up what the cards are telling me. We are all leaders. We are all leaders. It doesn't matter how small the band of people who are seeing us and watching us is. We can help show the way up to the top, where we can get the greatest view, the view that we need to have in order to understand how important it is to come at this new world through love, come at this idea of community and helping each other and being good neighbors, being good ancestors, and how much that is tied into, spirit, everything is all freaking tied together. Everything is all woven together. We might not be able to see the spirit, some of us can, but we might not be able to see spirit, but it is woven all throughout us. We are all spirits in these fleshy bodies, right? And each of us, no matter how small the crowd is a leader and can show others how to hop up on these so that we can get to the highest point. I'm also saying this as sort of a parent figure as well. Like this crow is bigger than these ones. This crow teaching these young juvenile crows how to get up to the highest spot so that they can jump off and just glide out. Instead of trying to do the harder thing, which is being on the earth, in the muck where we are right now, and trying to get wind down here, right? Sorry, I pointed at this card, but I didn't mean to point this because this is all about love. This is all about that beautiful, again, the tapestry of everything, of how we're all connected and woven together. Okay, I think I want to get one more card, but I don't. Okay. Would you want one more card from the Crow deck? The Fool. Yes. I think very much this reading is telling us to get into good relationship with spirit, with the spirits who we are in contact with individually, with our communities, with the way that we connect with each other, to balance the desire for vengeance out, because I understand needing retribution, needing vengeance, wanting people to pay for the harm that they have done. I get it. There does need to be consequence to very harmful people's actions, right? Absolutely. However, in order to get to this new beginning, this new, look at these rays of light coming in. We have these birds facing in the same direction. They've been taught and they can go off now. We need to be careful. We need to be so in right relationship with spirit, our communities, understanding our need for people to pay, to have consequences for what they've done. Be in relationship, right relationship with ourselves, our inner world, who we are fundamentally inside, in right relationship, and right relationship comes from love, right? To not deny also to the fact that sometimes we do need to just shut off the world so that we can have a moment. This is like, these two cards are very much signaling the same sorts of things, but it's again the balance of, this community thing and building up community. And this is like trying to get back at those who have hurt community, but in a way that is destructive, not only to the people who have caused harm, but to us. And here is like the Hanged Man, and the Hanged Man's sort of like opposite of, this is going within, and this is just ignoring the world, right? Without understanding that our inaction causes harm as well. And when we base all of our actions in love, love for the self, love for spirit, love for this earth, this beautiful earth that we live on, and all the living creatures that live here, we end up being this teacher who can help others come with us and fly off into the unknown, fly off into the rainbows and the magic that is waiting for us at the end of this. So there's some balancing to do here. Never, overwork yourself in any one thing. Never overwork yourself in all things that you don't take time to rest. Everything needs to be balanced. You can only do so much before you need to recharge. We are these sort of batteries, these conduits. We take in the charge of the energy of the things that we are experiencing, the things that we feel deeply within our souls. And it allows us to be fueled to take action, but there needs to be refueling. The well needs to be refilled, right? The cup needs to be refilled. So I think that's the message. Thank you so much for being here, and I will see you in the next one. Bye.